Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Providence Park. Tonight's match features the visiting OKC Energy FC and your T2. Let's meet the starting 11. First, for OKC Energy FC. Starting in goal, number 1, Cody Laurendy. Number 55, Mikael Williams. Number 61, Alvin Jones. Number 5, Christian Ibiaga. Number 15, Atiba Harris. Number 3, Kyle Highland. Number 4, Callum Ross. Number 7, Rafael Garcia. Number 17, Cordell Cato. Number 23, Javon Watson. And number 11, Christian Isley. And now, let's meet tonight's starting 11 for T2. Starting in goal, number 31, Aljaz Ivacic. Number 42, Nathan Smith. Number 48, Max Ornstill. Number 87, Adrian Despay. Number 80, Christian Ojeda. Number 88, Caleb Kiner. Number 77, Todd Warden. Number 66, Carlos Aguino. Number 28, Foster Langsdorff. Number 91, Gio Calixtro. And number 29, Ryan Sarakowski.
Portland Timbers 2 return to their winning ways Sunday, besting New Mexico United 3-2, which they hope will kickstart some momentum down the stretch run of the season. Tonight, Oklahoma City come calling with a wealth of experience at both the USL and Major League Soccer level, looking for revenge from a loss at home to T2 back in April. It's match day 24 as Portland Timbers 2 welcome Oklahoma City Energy FC to Soccer City, USA. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings currently in USL Championship's Western Conference. As you see, by virtue of that victory on Sunday, Portland Timbers 2 jump up into 7th place on 32 points. Oklahoma City Energy just outside of the playoff picture looking in, but look at how bunched up things are from spots 4 to 10. A win here, a draw there can really help you out as we head down the stretch run of the season. And with that, welcome into the broadcast booth here at Providence Park alongside two-time MLS Cup champion, former Portland Timbers defender Nat Borchers. I'm Fletcher Johnson. Nat, for Portland Timbers too, a much-needed win on Sunday, their first since June 22nd, really hoping they can build momentum now as we head into the final months of the season.
Yeah, Fletcher, it was a really important win for T2. Some relief, you would say, after going winless in 7. And then to get that result, on paper you might say that T2 were not the better team New Mexico was, but they had great performances from front to back, and it's a performance you really have to build on because this is a critical moment in the season for T2.
Yeah, Oklahoma City Energy, as mentioned, outside of the playoff picture right now, but so much experience on this team, Nat. Seems like they might be able to use that to pull themselves through.
Yeah, they've got a ton of experience, but you'd also say on paper they should be doing better. They haven't had the kind of performances they would have liked. A lot of individual errors throughout the season really haven't gotten them the kind of rhythm they need to get into to really string together the results they need to be in that playoff race. Now they're almost there. They could get in there with a few wins here or there, but they need to have better performances moving forward.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our players to watch in tonight's matchup. We'll start off with T2. Ryan Sierakowski, first year out of college, a 2018 Super Draft pick by the MLS Timbers, and scored a goal in the win against New Mexico on Sunday.
Yeah, and he's a converted winger. He used to play forward in college. He's done a great job, though, of understanding his role, his positioning there. He can shoot with both feet, and he puts in a good shift going forward and defensively on that right side.
Meanwhile, for Oklahoma City Energy FC, it is Atiba Harris, the 34-year-old St. Kitts and Nevis man, who will be in the central part of defense, hoping to shut down anything that Portland tries to create.
Yeah, this guy is going to be the backbone for this back line, and he's got a ton of experience, a ton of versatility as well. Just such a strong player. Matchups are going to be very difficult for the Portland Timbers up front against this guy, and he's going to be tasked with making sure he's communicating with that back line and trying to keep that clean sheet for Oklahoma City.
Tonight's the 9th all-time meeting between Portland and Oklahoma City. The two sides have split the previous 8, 4 wins each, no draws between them. We'll get you starting lineups and opening kickoff from Providence Park coming up next.
Fortune can hit from here. Oh! McCarthy once more. Blasted back in, and it's a goal for North Carolina FC. Big shot and scored. And Ben Spees lets one fly and drills it.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Welcome back to Providence Park, just about set for opening kickoff here on match day 24. Portland Timbers 2, Oklahoma City Energy FC. Let's go ahead and take a look at the head coach for Portland Timbers 2, Cameron Knowles, in his second season, assisted by Andrew Greger and Aiden Brown, the goalkeeping coach. Knowles is 25, 20, and 12. High praise from his counterpart tonight, and Steve Cook saying that he's very pleased and thinks that Cameron Knowles has done a very good job making this T2 team consistent. One change from the team that beat New Mexico on Sunday, Nat. Todd Wharton moves into the midfield, Orrin still into the back, a 4-4-2 for the third straight match.
Yeah, the spine of this team was just so good against New Mexico United, so not a lot of changes. Very good from Coach Cameron Knowles, but take a look at the number 28 and the number 91 up top. They're going to have to be engaged early on in this game, run those channels, try to make sure they're creating some early opportunities, and then the midfield, Anguiano and Wharton, are going to have to control that space against this OKC team.
Meanwhile, for Oklahoma City Energy FC, also in his second season, Steve Cook, the manager, and he is 19, 23, and 16 as the head coach of his team. Just 2 changes for them, a 4-5-1 in front of Cody Lorendi. And really, when you look at what this team puts out, surprising that Deshaun Brown and Omar Gordon not in the starting 11.
Definitely missing some speed up top for OKC, but they certainly still have a lot of talent out there. And just take a look at that middle of midfield with Watson, Ibiaga, and Watson, Ross, and Garcia. Those guys are really going to be tough to play against in the midfield. So good on the ball, so talented, and so defensively solid.
As we are just about set to get things underway, you look at Ryan Sierakowski, Nathan Smith, the left back tonight for T2, has been an important part of what Portland has done. Our head referee is Eligio Eregan, and he gets us underway here at Providence Park. Portland Timbers 2 and Oklahoma City Energy FC T2 wearing the all-green kits. Oklahoma City, the all-white kits. Eligio Eregan is assisted by, on the near side, Babacar Jallo, on the far side, Ryan Jung, and then the fourth official tonight, Pavel Sojka, has an early foul on Portland, gives Oklahoma City the restart. This is an Oklahoma City team that has 22 players on the roster, 15 signings in the offseason, so a lot of turnover after Steve Cook's first season. As Nat mentioned, things have not quite gelled to this point. 7, 8, and 9 on 30 points. They're a team that plays very inconsistently. They play great in stretches of matches, but then struggle at other points as well, as Portland brings it forward here early on. Here's Sierakowski attacking, shoots, and blocked. It'll be settled by Anguiano. And back to Sierakowski. Meanwhile, for T2, you're familiar with the story. First win since June 22nd was on Sunday against New Mexico United. Looking to continue that momentum as Ojeda sends the cross in, easily dealt with by Oklahoma City and out towards midfield. T2, of course, 8, 7, and 8 on 32 points, just 2 points out of fourth place in USL Championships Western Conference. Here's Gio Calixtro, the youngster from Cornelius, plays it out wide to Caleb Kiner, the youngest player to ever start a T2 match on Sunday against New Mexico. He's pressed into action once again here, trying to work his way around Michael Williams. Does get the cross off, but it's cleared away only momentarily, and then Rafael Garcia able to pick it up in front of Anguiano. No numbers for Oklahoma City, but they'll continue to press forward. This is Isley. And now these two played against one another back on April 6th. It was a first half dominated by Oklahoma City. They led 2-0 at the break. And then, as we mentioned, the lack of consistency. T2 came out and took it to Oklahoma City, scored a pair of goals relatively early in the second half, and then got the winner in second half stoppage time. Ryan Sierkowski scored in that match as well, so hoping to rediscover some of that glory that he had against Oklahoma City in that match back in April.
And Steve Cook referenced that, Fletcher, in terms of the inconsistencies that he's had with this team over the season. Scoring the first 2 goals at home and then giving up 3 unanswered to T2 obviously is difficult as a coach to stomach, to understand what did you do wrong, what kind of individual errors did the team make, did the players make, and I think if you look at this OKC team, we mentioned it, on paper, such a talented team, tons of speed up top, but they've really struggled with just some individual errors throughout the season, and it's really cost them points. And you can just feel it with this team. They feel like they deserve more. They should have done better, but they need to go out there and they need to earn it.
Yeah, also in our conversation with Steve Cook this morning, said that by his measurements, they've lost 20 points this season from winning positions, whether that be leading, whether that be tied late in matches, and those are things that you look back on and rue, certainly, even if it's when it's just 1 point or 3 points that you miss the playoffs by. But when you have a number that high, it's certainly concerning and get into the psyche of your guys. Early cross in from Ojeda here, falls to the head, deflection. Gio Calixtro has the opener in the 4th minute, his 3rd goal of the season.
And this is the 2nd game in a row that T2 has come out and struck first at home. So important that they get this early goal for their psyche, and it's just a ball that goes out wide. It's a nice first touch there to get into the space. A good one-time cross there. Some casual defending from OKC, and just a deflected goal, but Giovanni Calixtro takes this so well. What a great hit that is. Good techniques. Hits the ball as hard as he can. Obviously gets the force and deflection, but a great first goal for T2.
And it was something that Portland took advantage of on Sunday against New Mexico. Some lackluster defending near the top of the box or inside the box. That struggle that New Mexico had to really close down Portland players when they were within 25 yards of the goal. Once again there, Foster Langsdorff has time to let that ball bounce in front of him, hit off his head, and lay it off nicely for Gio Calixtro to put it in the back of the net.
And Cam Knowles will be really happy with the start that his team has had to this night. It's been some good, positive passes going forward, some very good movement from the team. And then on the other side, Steve Cook's going to be disappointed in his team. Defending obviously looked like they were a bit caught off guard. They just weren't ready for that ball as it dropped in there. Huge credit, though, to Ojeda in that first-time cross. What a great ball in there.
Turnover here from Oklahoma City, and Christian Ojeda brings it forward with plenty of space in front of him. Out wide to Sierkowski. Back to Wharton. He certainly looked at this lineup from Oklahoma City, Nat, and thought with no Omar Gordon, no Deshaun Brown, you wondered how much Oklahoma City might look to kind of not pack it in necessarily, but play defensively minded and then hope to maybe get this game at 0-0, maybe 1-1 into the 65th minute, and then put on the pace of Gordon and Brown to try and go out and get 3 points in this one.
And talking to Steve Cook about that before this game, Fletcher, that seemed like it was the game plan. Just make sure they were really organized centrally, just allow those balls to go out wide and make sure that defensively they were very organized. But the game plan goes out the door when you give up that first goal. So certainly it's going to be interesting to see the response from OKC, but they do, like you said, have some speed on the bench, and they could really hurt T2 depending on who they bring in off that bench.
Ojeda fouled there. Well, we know that goal scoring has been no issue for T2. That goal, their 44th of the season, moves them into third place alone in the USL in goals scored. So impressive, the numbers that Portland continues to put up. Scored multiple games in so many matches this year. I know that what Cameron Knowles would like, though, out of this match, other than the obvious 3 points, would be to see Aljaž Ivačić and his defense hold a clean sheet, because that's not something that has come quite as easily here in 2019.
Yeah.
Long switch from Kiner is over the head of Smith and out to touch.
And you said it, while they've done very well in just creating chances this season, they just haven't done such a good job in keeping those clean sheets, and that's what you want to have happen. You know, obviously from a defensive standpoint, just those little moments I think have hurt hurt T2. Defending a set piece here or there, just switching off here or there, just so important for this team, I think, if they're going to take the next step to get that shutout, and tonight's a good opportunity.
Yeah, when we chatted with Atiba Harris earlier today, he had mentioned just the fact of the joy of coming and playing at Providence Park. Oklahoma City's field is a bit small, so it doesn't allow them to take advantage of the skill sets of a lot of their players, technical players, players with pace. And so playing on a field as wide as Providence Park, as long as Providence Park is, Steve Cook felt and Atiba Harris felt would give them an opportunity to play more of the style that they would prefer to play on the right size field.
Yeah, and we mentioned it in the pregame about that midfield triangle with Garcia in there, with Ross and Watson. Those guys really want to control the middle of the pitch, and they really want to be on the ball and be technical. And they mentioned it, Steve Cook, about wanting to take a little bit of the steam out of T2 by having some of that possession early on in this game, and I really haven't seen it happen quite yet, but certainly that's one of their goals. As the game moves on, it's going to be interesting to see that extra number in midfield, if OKC can really use it to their advantage when it comes to possession.
Alvin Jones with the ball at his feet. A nemesis, if you will, of the United States men's national team. Remember, Alvin Jones scored the goal that knocked the United States out of the World Cup during 2018 qualifying for Trinidad and Tobago. As that combined with Roman Torres' goal for Panama made it so that the United States did not make the World Cup.
Incredible to go back and watch that strike from Alvin Jones as well, and to think of the ramifications that one goal had on a country's World Cup hopes and dreams, and how much fallout there was from the U.S. national team about not making that World Cup. And it's going to be fun to watch him in action. Steve Cook talked very highly of him as a defender and how good his game is 1v1, so it'll be fun to watch him.
Garcia now wide to the aforementioned Jones. His brother Jovan plays for Seattle Sounders. Jones gets the cross off. It's straight as Ivicic, who doesn't catch it cleanly the first time, but never lets the ball out of his grasp.
And you can see what this OKC Energy team is trying to do. They don't have the speed without Gordon and without Brown, but they certainly want to get the ball wide and get crosses into the box and find Isley. And it's going to be important for them to have some runners out of midfield, because it's just Isley up there as the lone striker. So they're going to have guys coming out of midfield like Watson and like Ross and like Garcia.
Offside flag is up, as Isley was deemed to be in an offside position when that ball came forward.
I have to say, Fletcher, I've been impressed with this 4-4-2 formation from Cam Knowles. It just seems like they understand defensively the kind of shape and organization they need to have. The distances are right. The understanding between players is good. The communication has been very good. You haven't seen him get broken down very often in this formation, which is surprising, because 4-4-2s, you miss some gaps sometimes, and teams can expose you, but it feels like they've done a really, really good job, and they've been really compact and organized.
Well, and in the attack, a lot of the players have looked good. The one player you wanted to see more from since they've switched to the 4-4-2 is Gio Calixtro, so nice to see him get on the scorer sheet tonight. Foster Langsdorff has certainly enjoyed playing in the 4-4-2 with goals in consecutive matches coming in here tonight. And then you know what you're going to get from Todd Wharton. Carlos Anguiano has become a solid piece. And then your additional players in there, Christian Ojeda and Ryan Sierakowski together in the midfield, have shown at different times their quality as well. Ojeda left-footed, Sierakowski, can play both ways as well. So it really seems like, given the rotation that Cameron knows has to deal with on a game-by-game basis, depending on who might come in from the MLS Timbers, this, at least at this point, certainly suits them and the skill sets of the players they have available to them.
And they do a really good job, Fletcher, of getting width on the right side and the left side, both outside backs getting forward.
Here's Sierakowski, whose cross is blocked and out for the first corner kick of the night.
Both outside backs get forward in this attacking formation, and Sierakowski and Ojeda actually tuck in a lot, which allows those outside backs to get forward. But what I really like about the formation is the balance is still there. You still have your back two, your center backs, and your two holding midfielders in place in case things break down and you have to defend.
13th minute, Portland already on top 1-0, thanks to a Gio Calixtro goal in the 4th minute. Ojeda will look to try and help double the lead for Portland. Finds Calixtro again, forces a save from Cody Lorendi, and cleared out of danger. Cody Lorendi has been very good this season for Oklahoma City. Lorendi actually leads USL in saves this season, with 78 coming in here tonight. Picks up his first one of the evening.
And it's a good opportunity from a set piece here. Just going to the near post, and it's a nice little flick from Calixtro. Just able to flick that ball into the near post there. Lorendi does a nice job of getting down to making that save. But an important early test there for OKC, and we talked to Steve Cook and Atiba Harris. Atiba Harris mentioned how important set pieces are to this team and how much they practice them. Steve Cook's going to be disappointed with the way that the team defended that one, and just so important to be switched on defensively there, and a good first chance there on a set piece for T2.
Tell you what, Gio Calixtro has arguably been the most active he's been since he scored the brace against Los Dos back on March 30th. Just 18 years old, the Cornelius, Oregon product. Cornelius, of course, just outside of Portland, about 20-25 minutes to the west towards the coast. At 18 years old in that, you got a lot of growing to do, a lot of things to figure out. Obviously playing up top, there's a lot expected of you. But Gio Calixtro has shown flashes, and certainly if he's able to get hot here down the stretch, that would be huge for Portland, because you have players like Foster Langsdorff and others that you can rely on or have expectations that they are going to get on the scorer sheet.
Yeah, and we go back to the formation change from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-4-2. You wonder if some of that wasn't because Foster Langsdorff was struggling to get chances, struggling to get goals, and he needs somebody up there, I think, to pair with, to run off of, to really help engage the opposing team's center backs so he can have some more space. And I think the partnership has had its struggles here and there, but it's getting better, it seems like, every single game, and they seem to be working well off each other.
Portland does well to win it back, as we are a quarter hour in here at Providence Park. In case you're just joining us, Fletcher Johnson and Nat Borchers here with you on a Friday night for Portland Timbers 2 and Oklahoma City Energy FC. Two teams separated by just 2 points in the standings, 4 spots. And Portland with the early goal. So now when you're talking about Foster Langsdorff, Gio Calixto playing up top, how it can benefit both of them. You mentioned the ability to run off, things along those lines, but what else with having 2 up top allows those players to maybe be more successful?
Well, I think when the ball goes wide and crosses are coming into the box, you have that extra number in the box. And when there's just one striker up top, one runner in the box, you usually have him marked up by 2 center backs. But when there's 2 strikers up top, 2 center backs to match up against him, there's just more space. There's more opportunity for the strikers to find those chances. And we saw on the goal, that's how T2 likes to create. They like to get the ball in those wide areas and cross it into the box, and they've had a ton of success doing that. So having 2 strikers there versus 1, I think, just been really good for their chance creation.
Yeah, you look at the first goal the other night from Foster Langsdorff, came in off of a cross that was not cleared properly, created that opportunity, and this one was a ball that came down the near side, a first-time cross in by Ojeda. So Portland having the ability to get wide, get the balls in, and you mentioned having 2 guys in there forces communication between the center backs. And Steve Cook also told us this morning, and we know Cameron Knowles has told us in the past as well, that at this level in USL, there can tend to be miscommunications or an opportunity for defensive errors. And it's if you're able to take advantage of those that you can find yourself on the right side of the scoreline.
He also mentioned how much transition there are in these games as well, because you don't necessarily have the kind of quality that you see in MLS.
As Wharton tries to chase that one down.
And teams aren't as comfortable carrying games in the midfield, and so you have a lot of transition moments, missed passes here or there, guys not on the same page. And for teams like T2 who can transition quickly, it's really good opportunities for them when those balls turn over to get to the other end of the pitch.
T2 this season, when scoring first, are 6-2-3. So 9 results in 11 tries, but they themselves have been known to struggle when holding the lead and give up some leads and eventually give up the full 3 points. First real move forward here for Oklahoma City, forces a save out of Aljaz Ivacic. That was Cordell Cato who put it on frame.
OKC Energy really finding their first attacking moment here. Cordell Cato coming inside, playing a one-time ball there off of Isley, who's posted up in the box. That's been the real only first chance for OKC Energy, but a good one and a good test for Ivacic. He does well to get down to his near post and make the save.
Yeah, first shot registered of the night for Oklahoma City, as Wharton is nutmegged by Cato, but cleared away by Dizpay.
Outside, outside.
Ball was deemed to go out of play by Babacar Jallo. Callum Ross, trying to keep it in, was unable to do so. Portland will have a deep throw.
OKC Energy providing a little bit more pressure on T2 now. This is what I would expect for the team that's down a goal, trying to get back in this game.
Eventually settled by Oklahoma City, and more build-up here as this ball finds this man in behind, and Oklahoma City has found an equalizer on the feet of Christian Isley.
And T2 just switching off for a quick moment there. It's a wonderful early ball from Ross. You can see that Isley is right on side. He waits for the ball to drop to his left foot. And it's a wonderful finish right through the legs of Ivicic, who has no chance there. Great run from the striker. Great ball in from Ross. And we got a tie ball game here, 1-1.
Isley's third goal of the year. Steve Cook mentioned he stepped up in big moments when his team has needed him, has Christian Isley, the former Sacramento Republic man. And he comes up with a big goal here as Portland was in control early thanks to the Gio Calixtro goal, and we're now back on even terms.
Such an important goal for this OKC Energy team. Hadn't seen a whole lot of attacking movements until that Cato opportunity, and then they were able to get that second one, which turned into a goal. Isley's been making some very, very good runs here up top. Hasn't really been rewarded yet, but you can see that he was on the same page with Ross there, who put in a tremendous ball there. Center backs for T2 probably should have been 2 or 3 yards deeper to prevent that ball from coming across, but take nothing away. It's a great finish.
It's another one of those situations where it's a moment, and the moment is created because Oklahoma City is playing high press, get the turnover, and early ball in. So maybe a bit of lack of focus or loss of focus for a minute because Portland did have the ball in the immediate moments leading up, but it just shows you how quickly things can turn as Callum Ross took advantage, sending that ball in early for Isley, who did well to finish it past Ivicic.
And clinical from Isley, just a wonderful finish there. He probably could have rushed his shot, taken it with his right foot, but he waited for that ball to drop to his left foot, was able to put it underneath the legs of Ivicic. Just a very, very good finish from an excellent striker.
There's Isley there again. This time is in an offside position.
And you can see OKC Energy now looking for that run. Isley just running off the shoulder there, the center backs. And between the two of them, Ornstill and Dispay, they've got to figure out the spacing, got to make sure that one of those two has matched up, has put a body on Isley so he's not able to make those runs easily in the box.
Fans, follow Portland Timbers 2 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Out wide for Smith. He's able to get around the first man, but Cato comes back in defense to help out and takes it away from Smith.
That's good group defending there from OKC Energy. Cato coming back to defend against Smith. Smith's done a very good job, though, this game, finding that space in the wide areas and getting to advance positions. He's done a very, very good job there.
And we talk about the one change for Portland. It was Todd Wharton, the captain of this T2 side, moving from center back into the midfield, and Max Orn still inserting in at one of those center back spots. It was Wharton and Dispay that played in the center back partnership and really seemed to steady things for Portland after some matches where they struggled giving up multiple goals. But Wharton moved into the midfield, so a new center back pairing, Ornstill and Dispay. I don't know if that had any role, but certainly something to keep an eye on as Isley gets a shot off again, kind of off the side of his right boot. Not much pace on it, so a relatively easy pickup for Ivicic.
Yeah, and it's a good ball in there from Williams. Again, Isley just coming off the center back there. Doesn't get enough on it to really trouble Ivicic, but he's definitely finding space in there, and you said it, Fletch, when you have a new center back pairing, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to figure each other out.
And Oklahoma City appear to be flying here after a quiet first 15 minutes. And bringing more of the pressure to Portland here as of late. 25th minute of a 1-1 match. Fletcher Johnson and Nat Borchers here with you at Providence Park. Wharton finds Langsdorff, who's been relatively quiet thus far. Had an assist on the opening goal for Portland.
And this is what T2 need to do. They need to get control of this ball, get possession, get it to wide areas.
Loose touch from Ojeda, turns it over. Garcia picks it up.
And they need to find that switching ball, find that change of attack, and really shift around this OKC Energy defensive block.
And a little confrontation between Cameron Knowles and Rafael Garcia. The fourth official, Pavel Sojka, has to come over, and then the head referee, Elijio Erigan, over as well.
I don't normally see a player going after a coach like this. I think Garcia's taken offense to the fact that Knowles is just trying to get the ball. It seems like the two are having a coming together there, and fortunately nothing else has happened. But I think Cameron Knowles just arguing, he's just trying to pick the ball up while Garcia was trying to dribble it into his hands. I think Cameron Knowles has every right to that ball.
It was well out of the field of play by 2 to 3 yards when Cameron Knowles reached down to pick it up. Rafael Garcia, the 30-year-old from Granada Hills, California, spent last season with Las Vegas Lights. People might remember him from his years with the LA Galaxy, 2012 to 2017, won some MLS Cups with LA Galaxy, making 45 appearances in that 6-year stretch. In his first year with Oklahoma City, does a lot of the dirty work for Oklahoma City there in the midfield.
Yeah, and Steve Cook talked a lot about him and those guys that do the dirty work. Ross in the midfield don't get on the stat sheet very often, but they do so much for the team in terms of the defensive work and organization and making it difficult for teams to create chances. Highland's showing a little bit of frustration there because he didn't get the call. Be very careful now. We haven't seen any yellow cards flying yet, but certainly this game seems like it might be tipping off very soon.
It's an Oklahoma City team that's certainly not afraid of confrontation. They are tied for 10th in the league with 303 fouls conceded as this ball floated in, looking for Langsdorff, settled by Ojeda off the head. Sierakowski shoots, and Portland is back in front in the 28th minute. Ryan Sierakowski for the second time this season against Oklahoma City and the fourth time this year.
And T2 with a wonderful response. Look at how Todd Wharton drives at the back line, plays this ball wide, and it's a good ball into the middle of the box. Langsdorff challenges, it drops to Ojeda, who passes it over to Sierakowski, and Sierakowski makes no doubt about it as he buries that in the left side of the net. Cody Lorendi has absolutely no chance at that. T2 up 2-1.
And my apologies to Ryan Sierakowski. That was his 5th goal of the season, not his 4th. Picked up his 4th on Sunday against New Mexico United. But Ryan Sierakowski catching a bit of fire here as of late. And Portland back out in front, nearing the half-hour mark.
How much confidence is this guy, Ryan Sierakowski, playing with now, Fletcher? Has 2 goals in 2 games. He scored with his right foot. Last game, it was an absolute bomb. He scores with his left foot. It was just a clinical finish.
As Cordell Cato keeps it in here at the near corner. Plays it central, but no one there except for Carlos Anguiano. Shields away Cato. Keeps Ross away from it as well, who's called for the foul. How about the unselfish play as well from both Foster Langdorf and Christian Ojeda? Those balls fell to them in the box after, whether it be a misclearance on the second one or a mishit clearance and a cross on the first one, and they have the presence of mind to head it off to their teammate, and both times it's resulted in goals.
Yeah, and interesting that they played a role in both goals, and you just see the unselfishness from Langsdorff and Ojeda. These guys just want to do what's best for the team. Love that about Foster Langsdorff specifically. This is a guy who does all the dirty work. He doesn't always show up on the score sheet, but he gives you 110% every single game.
Bad turnover here from Ibiaga.
And just like right there, he will not quit on any plays, Foster Langsdorff.
So now the ball back in Oklahoma City's court, so to speak. Has a foul there, Wharton taken down, and he is not happy about it. Javon Watson is the man who took him down. A whistle blew, I think, before the foul, or before the hit from Watson on Wharton. And that's probably what Wharton took exception to.
Yeah, and you can see the foul here. Watson just pushing Wharton down. Whistle had already blown. Watson telling Wharton to calm down. Wharton saying, no, I don't want to calm down. You can really feel, though, that it's coming, the energy in this game. It's getting chippy. No doubt there's going to be a yellow card needed to calm things down from the referee pretty soon.
Ball floated in, looking for Isley. And Ivicic off his line to collect. Quickly thrown out for Calixtro. Well, Portland 4 shots tonight, 2 goals. One of the reasons they're tied for first in USL in conversion rate. They score on average more than once every 5 shots. 21% of the time they're scoring the shots that they put on goal. And here again tonight, 50% conversion rate with 4 shots and 2 goals thus far.
And that's an incredible number, Fletcher, when you think about the chances that are created in soccer games. Usually it's about half of that, 10% of those chances usually, and even less.
There's a mishit clearance by Dispay, falls to Javon Watson, played back post for Highland, who just can't get there. He'll chase it down though in the far corner. It's a great opportunity for Oklahoma City. Now here's Williams. Williams will let it run out off the deflection, and it'll be the first corner kick of the night for Oklahoma City.
And it's just a missed clearance here from Dispay. Doesn't do a good enough job of getting that out of danger. Falls to Watson, who plays a great ball across the box. Highland just can't get there in time. T2's got to be careful about those balls in behind. That can really hurt him.
The Garcia to take. As we cross into the 33rd minute. Garcia's ball headed up in the air by Dispay, and it'll be another corner for Oklahoma City.
But if you look at this OKC team, Fletcher, they've got some big bodies in there. You've got Ross, you've got Isley, you've got Williams, you've got Harris, you've got Ibiaga. Very difficult to match up against these guys. T2's matching up man for man, which you love to see. Sometimes teams will go zone when they're outmatched or undersized. So very important that T2 is matching up and making sure their man doesn't score.
There are only 3 players in the starting 11 tonight for Oklahoma City that are under 6 feet tall. So it just speaks to that size as Atiba Harris and Dispay getting and talking to. Garcia has run over to the other side and will take this corner kick as well. Spun in, Calixtro heads away, headed on by Anguiano, and Ojeda, can he get there first? He does, but an important touch by Kyle Highland to keep it away. Otherwise it would have been Ojeda, Alvin Jones, and Cody Lorendi off to the races. See another ball in, header one, but down into the ground and collected by Ivicic.
Seems like crosses from wide areas are really going to be the difference in this game so far. Both teams doing a really good job of getting the ball wide and getting numbers into the box. I think it's going to really come down to who defends the box better than the other team as to who's going to win this game.
Harris is fouled by Langsdorff. Well, Ryan Stierkowski, 5th goal of the season, 3rd goal for Gio Calixtro have the Portland Timbers 2 side in front of Oklahoma City Energy. We got a goal from Christian Isley in between the 2 T2 goals. How does Oklahoma City respond?
You see Cordell Cato coming inside now and allowing Jones a little bit of width on this right-hand touch line, this near side touch line. That's going to be very important for OKC as they're creating these opportunities, the 2 of those guys. And then continuing to find Isley up top is going to be important for OKC. They found him for a nice 5-10 minute stretch there. He was active, but really haven't been able to find him, get him the touches he needs in recent minutes.
Ball falls to Calixtro. And an important cutout by Ibiaga. Calixto trying to send in Langsdorf there. Ivicic with a touch, under pressure, punts it long out to midfield. Harris wins the header, settles it to Isley. Jones to Ibiaga.
But again, you see T2 just coming down into that low block, this 4-4-2, doing just such a good job of defending against this OKC team. Not allowing those gaps, making sure that they're switched on when the ball goes into the middle positions. And just limiting really the opportunity to play passes through that. So they're OKC having to play those long balls into the strikers.
Anguiano, 18-year-old from Salem, partnering in the central part of midfield with Todd Wharton. What a great learning experience for Anguiano. Wharton, a veteran of USL, showing the kid the ropes, as he has all season long for the most part. Anguiano has been a fixture in the T2 lineup throughout the course of the season, having made 12 starts, as T2 earned a foul there. Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Portland Timbers 2 and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on Portland Timbers 2's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club.
And Anguiano Fletcher has been impressive this season. He doesn't have a lot of size, but he makes up for that lack of size with good technical ability, sound decision making on the ball, and he puts in a really good defensive shift as a holding midfielder in this formation. And I think playing next to Todd Wharton has had a really positive effect on him, because Todd Wharton has been just such a cool, composed, calm leader who does everything right, it seems. And I think he's really rubbed off on Anguiano in a good way.
Speaks to, again, that mantra for this Portland Timbers 2 side of development through success, putting players in a position to succeed. And Anguiano is a prime example of that. Other prime examples, Renzo Zambrano, former T2 player last season who earned a contract with the MLS Timbers, was on the MLS Team of the Week last week for Portland. Marvin Luria, another name, and Eric Williamson as well, who have gone on, whether it be to play with or participate in national team training camps or make appearances with the MLS Timbers. And that's something that Cameron Knowles and this coaching staff, this technical staff across the organization have done a really good job of, is blending experienced players like Todd Wharton, who have great skills, with younger players, whether they be super draft picks or academy players like Gio Calixto and Carlos Anguiano, to really provide them an opportunity to not only learn, but learn through winning and seeing what that's all about.
We see here Ibiaga fouling Foster Langsdorf, pretty clear foul there. Getting a talking to by the referee afterwards for what he does right there. Just scooping the ball into Ryan Sierakowski. But you look at what Cameron Knowles has done this year, you said it there, he's missing some key players. Asprilla's been in and out of the team just based on the need from the Timbers. You're missing Zambrano, you're missing Luria. Those are really big contributors to this squad. And then you have guys like Anguiano and Wharton and Sierakowski who have stepped up in their place. Played very, very well for this squad. It really bodes well, I think, for the future of this organization with these young players stepping up and playing so well.
Dispay not able to clear it well enough. Isley gets his head to it in front of Anguiano, and then Wharton gets it out of danger, but only momentarily. Here's Ross in off the chest of Isley, shoots, deflected off of Ornstill's chest, and out for the third corner kick of the night for Oklahoma City.
And Oklahoma City just providing a bit more pressure into the box here. It's another nice ball into the box from Ross. Finds Isley, who has an opportunity to take it off his chest and turn before Ornstill gets there. T2's got to be a little bit more switched on when balls come into the box and alert to that danger.
Garcia's cross doesn't get past the first man. Kind of a mishit clearance, though, by Calixto. Doesn't get too far away. Back at the feet of Garcia. Back in once again. Important header by Diz Pay in front of Ibiaga. All the numbers still forward for Oklahoma City, though. Opportunity at Portland can clear the ball and get it to Langsdorff. That's what Ojeda tried. Langsdorff was hanging out right at that midfield line behind all the defenders, but since he was in his own half, he wouldn't be in an offside position. Foul committed there by Harris, I believe. And Portland will take their time with the restart.
And that's the second time, Fletcher, I think we've seen OKC a little out of balance in terms of defending the counterattack, and T2 just leaving a number forward there. I think they might be able to hurt OKC on that counterattack because they've got so many players pushed up into the attacking third of the field, not really wary of that ball in behind.
Oklahoma City with the better of the possession thus far, 54-46, but trailing on the scoreboard 2-1. And if this scoreline holds heading to the break, that would be a big deal. Never in club history for Oklahoma City have they trailed at halftime and come back to win a game. They are 0-32-11 when trailing at the break, all time in club history. And that is something that, no matter what level you're at, is a stat you rarely see.
A staggering stat. A staggering stat for a team not to be able to come back from a deficit at halftime. It's just so important in the game. Those moments happen. You give up goals. You got to show your character to be able to come back, and to not be able to do that. It's almost like that Diego Chara stat, isn't it? When,
yeah.
With the Timbers being winless without Diego Chara, and however many games that was. I'm glad we got to put that stat to bed finally this year. But man, it definitely doesn't bode well for this team, and you hope if you're Steve Cook that you can sometime in the future change that so that you can get a result after being down at the halftime break.
I think it's one of those stats too, Nat, that while there are a lot of these guys that were not a part of that team or a part of those teams when those results occurred, people tell you that stat, and you're well aware of it because it's such an audacious number. 43 matches where you've trailed at the break and have never come back to win, that it can very easily get in the head of you, I would imagine, as a player and as a team, to think, here we go again, going into the break down a goal or down 2 goals or trailing. We are not going to be able to come back to win, and it takes some, I imagine, fortitude to be able to not think that narrative in your mind.
And we talked about the psyche of this OKC team, and talking to Atiba before the game and Steve Cook just about where this team's at. The individual errors for this team have really cost them throughout the course of the season. While they do have a talented team, a very fast, pacey team, an experienced team, those errors have really hurt them. And you think about a stat like that, that can really affect you and your thought process, your mentality as you're going through games.
Shot taken from distance after some significant pressure put on by Oklahoma City. Not necessarily the shot Steve Cook would want to see out of his team from Harris, about 40 yards away.
But I would say that overall, Fletcher, it seems like T2's done a very, very good job of defending this OKC attack. They are missing, again, those pacey guys up top in Gordon and DeShore and Brown, I think, which helps them to keep a higher line. But they've done a really good job of staying compact. Those 2 banks of 4 have done a really good job of limiting those opportunities in the midfield, and they just pushed OKC Energy wide, and they've been forcing them to just make crosses into the box. They could box defend a little bit better, I think. And that may be a conversation for Cam Knowles at halftime.
Great job by Anguiano to shield Garcia away from the ball there and earn the foul.
Nice little opportunity to put Anguiano's skills on display. He doesn't like the foul from Garcia, gives him a little push there. But this guy, he's a baller, number 66. He knows how to play now, and it's been impressive, as we mentioned, to see his form this year and the strides he's taken forward.
Played in a couple games last season for T2. Obviously, as we mentioned, getting more significant time now, but those are the type of plays he wouldn't have made late last year or early this season, to have the recognition to just step in front of Garcia as he's chasing from behind and earn that foul.
And so much of that is minutes, isn't it? Just getting minutes, especially minutes where they're meaningful. You're playing for something, and you're certainly being asked to do a big job in that middle of midfield. And again, I think he's learned a lot from Todd Wharton. He's grown in confidence, and he's a player to watch for T2 in the future.
1 minute stoppage time here at the end of the first half. Ojeda with a clever touch with his left foot around the defender. Here's Foster Langsdorff, has Calixtro in the box, prep touch, back to Langsdorff, shoots, and just wide to the right from Foster Langsdorff. Could have been a third at the end of the first half.
And this partnership between Langsdorff and Calixtro is on full display here. Langsdorff does everything right, gets his first touchdown, finds Calixtro, the open man. Calixtro plays it back to him, but the one-time finish just isn't on. Needs to hit the target there, Foster Langsdorff, but really positive stuff from T2 on the break.
We are through the added minute of stoppage time here at the end of the first half, waiting for the whistle from Eligio Erigian. Ball over the top. Will pick out Kyle Hyland. Hyland cuts it back for Isley. Isley shoots, deflects off of Ornstill and out. And it looks like we will see a corner kick if Oklahoma City hurry.
Yeah, this could be a dangerous opportunity here for OKC at the end of the half. It's a good ball over the top from Harris. Finds Hyland, just cuts it back there. Well done from Ornstill to close down the shot, though.
Bit surprised that minute comes up on the board. This will be taken nearly a minute 45 into stoppage. Back post, header one, and a foul called, and that should just about do it.
Could imagine some frustration from Cam Knowles' side if OKC had scored there, and stoppage time should be up. But I think if this scoreline holds, T2 is going to be happy going into the break with the way they've played, the way they've responded, getting that first goal.
Ivicic hits it, and indeed that is the end of the first half, one that saw Portland jump out to an early lead. Oklahoma City recover to even the score, and then Portland, off the foot of Ryan Sierakowski, go back out in front once again. Halftime here at Providence Park. We'll come back, take a look around the rest of the league, and give you our thoughts on the first half. It's Portland Timbers 2-2. Oklahoma City Energy FC 1. Back with some halftime festivities after this.
Fortune can hit from here. Oh! McCarthy once more. Blasted back in, and it's a goal for North Carolina FC. Big shot, and he scored! And Ben Spees lets one fly and drills it.
Coming and off and in. What a move!
Shot blocked, follow up, and now one block ball still loose.
Hanley will try to create here. Gets it in. Here's Rowe. Up ahead. Continues, cuts back. Strike coming. And just beyond the reach of Mangles, it's in. Towards the box, cuts around Ovalle. Goes down the strike. Philly on the save at the near post. Through the traffic. Knocks it on. Soto there. Back. The shot. And in. Goes right. Soto off the bench. And putting Chattanooga up 2-1.
A little trickery now, maybe. McCabe goes for goal, and it's an excellent free kick. A long run-up produces a long-range effort from Niall McCabe. Not the first time that he cuts through from Dalgard. Dalgard still with it. He tees it up. Great effort, and a terrific opening goal Sebastian Dalgard.
Opportunities for the opponent. This ball comes in, headed away only to the top of the box. The Langsdorff volley off the chest, and Portland has the lead in the 3rd minute.
Still Zach Sandy to drive, and what a save by Matt Pickens.
Sent in towards the back post, headed on. Calais Brown, what a save. Tom Oduro, watch him on the tail end of this. He knows how good of a save it is. He turns around, slaps a little high five. Devon George is going to be robbed. Calais Brown.
Sun setting here in the Pacific Northwest as it's halftime at Providence Park between Portland Timbers 2 and Oklahoma City Energy. T2 in front 2-1. And Nat, I feel like this first half that we saw tonight as we welcome our viewers back into the broadcast booth is indicative of the play of USL here at this point in the season. We're seeing entertaining stuff across the league, and tonight's first half no exception.
Yeah, you see a lot of opportunities to score goals, some really good play in the wide areas, and then it's about box defending and then finishing in the box. Some really good stuff from both sides. Both teams obviously getting goals, T2 being up a goal because they finished their opportunities better than OKC has.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the scores around the league. A couple results from Wednesday night, few from tonight as well. Pittsburgh over Red Bulls 2-1. Charleston tops Loudoun 2-1. Atlanta United 2-1 over Swope Park. Some Western Conference results. Fresno FC up on Real Monarchs 1-0 at the half. Phoenix Rising also on top of Reno 1868 by a scoreline of 1-0 as well. Plenty going on around USL at this point in the season as we take a look at the standings and see Phoenix Rising on top, 6 points clear of Reno 1868, but really you see the jumble from 4 to 10, just 4 points separating those teams. So with a victory here tonight, if this scoreline holds, Nat, T2 has a chance to jump up into 4th place in the Western Conference, and that's 2 consecutive wins after having not picked up a win since June 22nd.
You can see how critical these matches are going to be for these two teams, and really it's not desperation mode yet for these teams, but it's going to be very, very soon. So if you're coaching these teams, you want to say we got to have good performances, and they got to come quickly if we want to make the playoffs.
Let's go ahead and take a look around the league and some of the storylines going on in USL. It is Supporters Week. You can head to USLChampionship.com to get your votes in for your favorite mascot, tifo, theme night, and place to visit in the league. I know a lot of people like coming to Portland. Elsewhere, Oklahoma City playing here tonight, and El Paso completed a trade late yesterday, early today, pending league approval. Derek Gebhard on his way to Oklahoma City. He is in the 18 tonight, meanwhile, and El Paso receiving French midfielder Alexis Bassetti. And then for T2, how about Caleb Kiner? Became the youngest player ever to start a match for T2 while also recording an assist on Sunday against New Mexico, under 17 years old.
That's a fantastic move for the youth movement for this Timbers team, this organization, just bringing in a guy like that. And he had a very solid performance, really got up and down as a defender, and he's normally a center back playing as an outside back in these games, and just wonderful to see a young guy like that get minutes.
Well, we'll pop out to break, come back, get you a look at the first half highlights. There were plenty. Gio Calixtro getting on the scoreline for the first time since March. We'll take you through that, give you some thoughts, and have the second half kickoff coming up as well.
Fortune can hit from here. Oh! McCarthy once more. Blasted back in, and it's a goal for North Carolina FC. Big shot, and he scored. And Ben Spees lets one fly and drills it.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com.
A look at the Hawthorne Bridge here in downtown Portland as we are at the break at Providence Park. 2-1, Portland Timbers 2 over Oklahoma City Energy FC. Welcome back into the broadcast booth. Nat Borchers, Fletcher Johnson, and Nat, first half that saw shots both ways. Oklahoma City actually out shooting Portland 8-5, but it's Portland that's on top on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and the Timbers came out. They did a great job of putting pressure on OKC and getting that first goal. They really needed to get that first goal to get into this game, and it's been a good back and forth game so far, but the first half goes to T2 in terms of finishing their opportunities and really having better creation of chances.
It's really interesting to see how well the 4-4-2 has worked here for Cameron Knowles in this T2 side through 3 matches. They get a draw on the road a couple matches ago. Best New Mexico on Sunday, and certainly performing here well.
Yeah, the 4-4-2's worked really well. It just seems to fit the style of play for these players. A good bank of 4 in front, a bank of 4 in the back, and really good and tight defensively centrally, and then they're able to break in transition. They have players to do that, and they've had really good individual performances as well. Ryan Sierakowski with a great goal, and then obviously Gio Calixto with a good finish as well.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from that first half. We'll start off in the 4th minute. Another early goal from T2, this time coming on a cross from Christian Ojeda, finished off by Gio Calixto.
It's just all about finding width from T2 there. It's a great run, great first-time ball from both Smith and Ojeda. It finds Langsdorf, who does the unselfish thing, and finds Calixto, and Calixto does the rest. He keeps the ball down, smashes it, takes a little bit of a deflection, fortunately for T2, but it's a goal nonetheless.
3rd goal of the season for the Academy kid. Made it 1-0 Portland. Then the 20th minute, it would be Oklahoma City answering.
Yeah, and then it's just a good transition moment from OKC. And Callum Ross with a dime-piece ball here just gets behind the 2 center backs, and it's a great run from Isley, who runs off the shoulder there of Ornstill and is able to find the back of the net with a lovely finish between the legs of Ivicic.
Important response from Oklahoma City. Then 8 minutes later, Ryan Sierakowski, his 5th goal of the season and 2nd in consecutive matches.
Such a good job of finding that far post, and again, it's nothing the goalkeeper can do. Good unselfish play from T2 and great wide play from the team.
And then in first half stoppage time, Portland nearly doubled their lead. Great touch there by Ojeda. Nearly springs in Langsdorf and Calixto.
Yeah, it's all about the transition moment here from T2. They do everything right except for the finish. Langsdorf wants to get that one on target, but does everything right. Again, it's unselfish from Calixto to find Langsdorf, and he'll want to do better there. Great opportunity for them to go up another goal, but they're still winning 2-1.
All right, let's look at some of the stats from that first half. As mentioned, Oklahoma City out shooting Portland 8-5. Better the possession as well, but 2-1 in favor of Portland. In terms of statistics, Nat, what is it you'd like to see out of Portland, maybe different / better in the second half?
Well, I think they just need to continue to own the midfield, to really control that central area, force those balls in wide. But I think it's really important as this game goes on longer in OKC, if they get more desperate, they're going to have to make sure they box defend better. Ornstill and Dispay are going to have to make sure they're switched on, not allowing the strikers, the forwards from OKC to get in and get chances on goal.
We're just about set for the second half. Both teams back out on the field. And as you might imagine, couple substitutions made for Oklahoma City at the break. The 2 men we talked about not being in the game to start off for Steve Cook's side. Deshaun Brown is in for Cordell Cato. And Omar Gordon replaces Kyle Hyland. So with those 2 substitutions, 14 goals and 6 assists come onto the field for Oklahoma City, and that's certainly a lot more pace.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit scary for T2 with these 2 guys coming into the game. They've got pace, technical players as well, good finishers. Deshaun Brown, such a good finisher up top. Gordon, such a good transition type of a player. T2 is going to have to be switched on. The good news for them, though, is they are up a goal, so managing those moments is going to be important, and making sure that in transition they're not allowing OKC the opportunities to get in behind them and create chances.
Early foul called on Gio Calixto, taking down Atiba Harris.
Just a 50-50 ball. Looks like Foster Langsdorf leading there with the elbow just coming in the midsection of Atiba Harris. But if you look at the formation now, Fletcher, it looks like Isley's coming out to the left-hand side here on this near side touchline. Looks like Gordon's going in as a winger on the right side. And then Deshaun Brown coming in up top. Underneath him is going to be Watson. But definitely a dearth of attacking talent coming in for OKC. So it's going to be an interesting half to watch.
Deshaun Brown did play on Saturday in the loss to Fresno 2-1. Omar Gordon came on just before halftime in that match. Both Gordon and Brown carrying small knocks, Steve Cook told us in the lead up to this match. So that'll be something to watch, potentially a reason they did not start tonight. As Lorendi under pressure just puts it long central. Warren still wins the header. Falls to Wharton. Wharton chased down by Javon Watson from behind, and a foul called in Wharton's favor. Oklahoma City players do not like the call, but it'll be a restart for Portland.
But you wonder, if you're going to get the best, you're going to see the best version of Gordon and the best version of Brown in this game, with them both carrying those types of injuries. That's obviously why they didn't start the game. This is such a critical match. They would start the game normally, but carrying those knocks, how good are they going to be? What version of them are we going to get to see tonight?
Keep going, stop.
It'll be Ojeda to serve. In just over the head of Langsdorff, and Harris nearly put it in the back of his own net.
Set pieces were a stressing point for this OKC team. They don't do a very good job there of defending Foster Langsdorff, who doesn't quite get his head on the ball, but well cleared out by the OKC defense. Now a good corner kick opportunity for T2.
No direct pass.
Ojeda to serve once again. He'll go top of the box for Smith. Hits it back to Ojeda. It's onside. Has time to settle. Sends it in. Finds the head of Calixtro. And he'll want that one back.
And it's from the training ground here. T2 does a good job of getting that ball into the central area and then back out wide to Ojeda. And a wide open Calixtro. He would have liked to do better with that one, but interesting to see OKC not matching up very well in those set piece moments. It's something they take pride in.
Great touch by Isley, finds Gordon into the box. Gordon shoots. Looked like it was a cross. Brown was there, but just a little too far out in front of him, and danger averted for Portland.
And this is a really good overload from Isley there, able to come inside and find Gordon on the outside, and you can see the speed already having an impact from Gordon, getting in behind there. He's fizzing that ball across the face of goal. Brown just can't get in there. He's got to expect that ball to come in there. But OKC energy starting to show just how dangerous they can be in the attack.
Great stuff from Calixtro to keep possession. Now to Langsdorff. Langsdorff has Ojeda. Ojeda prep touch. Shoots, blocked, and out for a corner kick.
Let's go, boys.
So certainly a little bit more open than it was in the first half. We saw 13 shots total in that first half.
29.
But both teams a little more pragmatic, a little more open, Nat.
Yeah, this game's opened up a lot here, and it's a good transition moment from T2. Ojeda just not taking his first touch well. Maybe could have taken that first time, but he lets his touch get away from him on the second one.
Here's Ojeda's cross, popped up in the air. Kiner wins the header. Langsdorff and Brown go shoulder to shoulder. And it's Langsdorff who wins the battle. Quiet night from Caleb Kiner. Haven't called his name much. I'm sure he likes it that way.
I was going to say, we haven't called his name much, and he had a really good first half against New Mexico United. Got caught out a little bit in the second half. Obviously made the PK foul that led to the PK opportunity for New Mexico, but I think he's been solid this game. He's such a young kid, so much growth, so much opportunity in these minutes for him. He's done a good job of just being connected next to Ornstill, and knowing Ornstill, he talks a lot in there as a right center back. I think he's helped him out a lot.
Here's Gordon sending Isley into the box. Isley the goal scorer from the first half. It's interesting to get back to the Kiner point. You know, each team plays in its own unique way, Nat, but maybe a little bit surprising that Steve Cook doesn't try and put Omar Gordon on the side of the 16-year-old, see if he can take advantage of him with all of Gordon's experience and the lack thereof for Caleb Kiner. As this one into the box for Javon Watson. Watson defended by Ornstill. Overlapping run from Williams. Williams cross. Deflected by Sierakowski, headed out of the box by Kiner, but picked up by Watson once again. Watson right-footed cross in, dealt with by Kiner, and Ornstill able to clear out to midfield.
And to your point, though, you wonder if that's why Isley is going to be matched up against Kiner, because Isley's got a ton of experience. He makes some really smart runs in there. It's going to be an interesting matchup for Kiner to deal with if Isley does end up staying on that side.
Yeah, the formation has certainly changed for Oklahoma City. Here's Gordon into the box. Warren still defending him. Lays it off for Isley. Isley one touch, cuts it around Kiner, has a chance to shoot, deflected away by Dispay. And Oklahoma City earns the corner.
Gordon just continuing to make really good runs along that back line, and he finds himself in some space, able to cut the ball back here. Kiner just losing his footing there as he gets cut back by Isley, and Isley should do better with that one. It's a great opportunity, though, for this OKC Energy team.
Garcia to take. Look this one towards the penalty spot, and Oklahoma City has leveled in the 53rd. It is Michael Williams.
What a difference a few changes at halftime make for this OKC Energy team, as Williams just separates there from Kiner, able to get that ball down. It's an easy finish for him in the end. Nothing that Ivicic can do. What a wonderful ball there from OKC Energy. And now we've got a tie game, 2-2.
You could say it was deserved for the visitors. They've had the better of the play here through the first 8+ minutes of the second half. Ojeda gets around his man, lays it outside for Smith. Smith pops it up in the air towards a penalty spot. Langsdorff looking to win the header, takes down Ibiaga in the process.
And now the questions for T2 is going to be, how do you respond now? You've scored first, you've given up one, then you scored second, you're up a goal, and now the game is tied. How do you react?
This is just the 5th time this season that Oklahoma City has scored multiple goals in a game, and just the 3rd time in their last 17 matches that they've been able to score multiple goals in a game. So this is a big deal for the Energy, not only for tonight, but as they hope they can jumpstart their attack, which has been lackluster all season long. Wharton goes down, taken down by Watson. Watson can't believe the call as we go back and take one more look at the Michael Williams header that leveled things.
You can just see the run he makes there. He starts like he's going to the back post, gets Kiner moving. He's able just to make a quick movement to the front where he finds that ball in the space. And it's just a great curled ball with pace on it. In the end, just an easy finish for him with the quality of that ball into the box. We talked about set pieces from this team, OKC Energy. They put a lot of emphasis on it, as Atiba Harris told us today, Fletcher, and they didn't do a good job defending him early on in this game, but to score a goal off it is encouraging.
Great job by Smith to reach that ball, headed away by Ibiaga. And a nice back heel by Watson to find Gordon. Gordon will look to use that pace coming up the near side. Pressured by Ojeda, back to Gordon from Brown, cross in, Isley, and Oklahoma City has turned this thing on its head in the first 11 minutes of the second half.
Cannot emphasize enough the difference that Omar Gordon has made in this game. Look at the run he makes here. He continues his run after losing the 50-50 challenge here, and he sees the run from Isley, makes a great near post run, not marked by Ornstill in the box. It's just a lovely finish there to the far post. As the ball bounces up, he gets a piece of it. Nothing Ivicic can do. OKC Energy up a goal.
Brace for Christian Isley, who has as many goals tonight as he did the entire rest of the season.
I have to say, Fletcher, that OKC Energy has absolutely punished T2 down that left-hand side. They like to push their outside backs forward. Now in transition, they've just been absolutely deadly in the second half.
It's the first time since March that Oklahoma City has scored 3 goals in a match.
Wow. And with the attacking talent, we talked about it before the game, Fletcher, how much talent this team has. For them not to score more goals has been interesting. But this is a critical moment in the season, and you know Steve Cook's going to be very happy with his team's response thus far. And for T2 now, they're going to have to open themselves up a bit, try to push for that equalizing goal.
And here's Brown, gets around Ivicic, and too heavy of a touch, it goes side netting.
And T2 are absolutely getting crushed on these balls over the top. Just Ornstedt just can't keep with the speed of Deshaun Brown, who gets there before Ivicic, not able to get on the end of that one and put that one on goal. But for T2, they got to be wary of that speed. They got to drop off a yard or two to account for it, because otherwise it's going to be a long rest of the game for this T2 backline.
Well, you knew that as good of a player as Isley is, you were going to bring Gordon and Brown onto this match in the second half at some point. And if you're those T2 center backs, you have to know that they're going to be so much more pacey than Christian Isley. But I wonder if the pace of Brown and Gordon even surprised Dispay and Ornstill more than they were expecting.
And you can already see the backline's dropped off 5 yards more than they probably would be, and it's causing a big spacing issue for Wharton and Anguiano. They're having to cover a lot more space now. And things are really going to open up for this OKC Energy team as this half wears on.
Basically playing 4 up front. And that ball's around midfield or Oklahoma City Energy.
Got to give a ton of credit for Steve Cook for making those changes so quickly, and obviously to the players for coming in and having the kind of impact on this game that this OKC Energy team has needed. Such a critical moment again for this side and for T2 as well. They have to have a good response here and have to start getting some numbers forward and creating some opportunities on goal.
Portland just needs to settle down a bit. You can sense how tense they are, giving up a pair of goals in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Look for the steadying presence of Todd Wharton to help calm them down. Foster Langsdorff, no stranger to pressure, won 3 national championships during his collegiate career at Stanford. So he knows what playing in big games, tense games is all about. But now it's on Portland to go find an equalizer. Sustained pressure from Portland. Ball popped up in the air. Wharton and Garcia go head-to-head. Headed away. Back to Ojeda, into the box to Langsdorff. Langsdorff looking for Calixtro, over his head, headed away by Williams. Now Wharton wins it to Kiner. Portland keeps the pressure up.
So OKC Energy back line doing a really good job of managing these moments. T2 just not finding the right spaces to attack into.
And now a 3v2 if Oklahoma City hurry. Not sure if Javon Watson realizes it. Leaves it to Brown. First touch lets him down, and he was in an offside position anyway.
It's very, very close there, but I think from the angle, he's just a hair offside. Good call from the linesman.
Watson dispossesses Calixtro. Now looking long for Gordon.
You can see Gordon just hanging out there in that space. Both center backs having to match up 1v1 against the number 9 Brown and against Gordon. It's going to be very, very, very dangerous posture from T2, not leaving an extra man back there to help out defensively.
Offside position there once again. You know, it's really interesting. We talked early on, Nat, in this match about our conversation with Steve Cook and how he said, my guys lack consistency. They'll play game to game different. They'll play in-game different halves. Boy, are we seeing that here tonight. The first 45, for the most part, while they had the better of the possession, they had more shots. It's relatively uninspiring. Yet here in the second half, this is a team. Now, you're adding on 2 former MLS players into the mix, but this is a team that showing the physicality of an MLS team, is showing the drive, desire, the pace of an MLS team to go get results. And I got to imagine Steve Cook, if he had a little bit more hair than he has left at this point, was pulling it out, wondering, what do I have to do to get these guys to play the way I want them to play, as the offside flag is up once again.
Well, it's interesting, Fletcher, because you watch that first goal that T2 scores against OKC. They just seem surprised that the ball is bouncing around their box. There's not enough emergency defending. There's not enough urgency to defend against that shot. But you could see the mentality, the energy, the urgency just wasn't there from him in the first half. And then the second half, it's just a completely different team. And just a few changes can make that kind of difference. And you said it, it's got to be frustrating as a coach to see those kinds of things happen, because you know the ceiling for your team is so high, and yet they're not playing there game to game and half to half.
There's no doubt Gordon and Brown bring a different element to this Oklahoma City team, especially when both of them are playing up top, even with the center backs, even when Portland has the ball. As Anguiano sprays it out wide for Smith.
Now really the onus shifts to T2. Now they're going to have to open up and try and break down this OKC Energy team, who have been very compact this half, who have big bodies back there, who make it very difficult to attack into. I think it's going to come down to really those wide areas and trying to really get some numbers out there. The outside backs are going to have to get advanced and try to win some of these 2v1s, these 2v2 challenges out there in the channels, then whip balls into the box and hope that Langsdorff and Klickstro can get them the end of something.
Touch flash.
Well, I mentioned the stat before halftime. Never in club history has Oklahoma City trailed at the half and come back to win a match, and they're in position to do just that with 25 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here at Providence Park. 65th minute, Fletcher Johnson and Nat Borchers here with you. It was 2-1 Portland at halftime. Oklahoma City 2 goals in the first 10 minutes of the second half has turned this result on its head, as Oklahoma City now leads 3-2. Offside flag is up once again, this time on Isley.
That's got to be the 4th or the 5th offsides that have been called on OKC Energy this half, whereas in the first half we rarely saw the linesman raise his flag, and you can just tell now that they're just hungrier to kind of challenge that back line, to make those runs in there, and the midfield, the back line, they're looking to play those balls over top, and it's making it very difficult for T2 to figure out where they need to hold their line and how many numbers to commit forward.
This is that first 10 minutes of the second half. Portland was a little out of sorts, maybe a little slow to come out of halftime, and it's cost them the lead. Miscommunication from Sierakowski. I don't know if he knew that Ornstill was the man that was there. Dizpay chases this one down in front of Watson. Well done tracking back by Dizpay, the Cuban.
That's really good recovery there from Dizpay, showing off his speed and showing that he can come back and track back and clean things up back there. But he's going to be having to do a lot of that in this half if this game continues to stay at this scoreline. You can see OKC Energy is getting very, very compact right now.
Goal kick called in favor of Oklahoma City. Tune in to ESPN News on August 21st at 4 p.m. for a Wednesday night soccer matchup between two of the best in the East. North Carolina FC welcomes in the Tampa Bay Rowdies with playoff positioning battles heating up. See it all on August 21st at 4 p.m. on Wednesday Night Soccer on ESPN News.
We talked, Fletcher, a lot about the changes that were made at halftime by Steve Cook. But if you look at Cameron Knowles' side, not a lot of options for him coming off the bench. You got Kobayashi, who could potentially come in and make a difference. But lot of youth, some inexperience on the bench, some academy guys. Would be fun to see him play, but certainly you compare that to the options that Steve Cook has, and it's just night and day.
Great shot by our camera crew. Christian Isley coming off the field had to put a new jersey on as he had some blood on his jersey. So he has put on his secondary jersey and will be ready to come back on once we get underway. A little time-wasting technique there from Oklahoma City. Tiba Harris came over and mimicked, at least it looked like mimicked, tying Cody Lorendi, the goalkeeper's shoes. So a good minute and a half will be added to stoppage time here after that. Stoppage in play. 69th minute here at Providence Park. As Kiner goes in for Langsdorff. Now to Sierakowski. Ojeda will shoot with his left, parried away by Lorendi. As Isley's welcome back onto the field as the ball went out to touch. Christian Ojeda on his favored left foot there, forced Lorendi into his 80th save of the season, leading USL. Great control by Anguiano to settle that ball in front of Gordon.
What a touch that was from the youngster. The ball was just screaming out of there, and he was able to take it down with the touch, and just showing his technical abilities off in this game.
Yeah, worth noting that with just the one change, Williamson out and Orton still in for Portland, they made no substitutions in the match on Sunday. Same situation, Nat, as you were running through the substitutes. Short bench for Cameron Knowles. A couple academy players. Make it 3 academy players on that bench, along with the goalkeeper and Kobayashi. Here's Calixtro for Sierakowski. Shoots near post and doesn't put it on frame.
T2 just finding a soft spot there on the top of the box. The ball squirts out there to Calixtro, who's able to find Sierakowski on his less favored right foot. He's not able to get that ball across goal, but encouraging signs from T2.
One more, Christian.
Williams, his first goal of the season on that header to start things off in the second half for Oklahoma City.
Again, Fletcher, you can see that front four that Javon Watson has pushed forward onto that back line, really creating an overload on the back line. All 4 backline players for T2 are matched up against the OKC players. Any balls over the top, it's a 1v1. So difficult to match up for if you're on that T2 backline. Just a more aggressive attacking front from Steve Cook's team in this half.
You just wonder, I mean, maybe that was the strategy coming in, but you figure if it's been able to produce this, why are you not doing it every single game?
And if you're T2, you got to start moving the ball a bit quicker. Just getting stuck on these sides. Got to find that outlet. There's space in the channels if they find it quickly. And you can just really run at that back line in 1v1, 2v1 opportunities, but just going a little bit too slow.
That is really interesting. You look back at the goals, and for the most part, the passes that led up to the goals were one-touch passes. You'll get T2's first goal. Touch from Smith to Ojeda, who crossed it in first time, found the head of Langsdorf, who headed it down to Calixtro.
And that's the thing, when you unbalance a team, you do it by playing quick soccer, playing one touch, playing very, very fast. It doesn't allow a team to get set back in their comfortable back four positions. That's what T2 needs to start doing, to start moving that ball a bit quicker, switch the point of attack, get that block moving, make them suffer OKC on the defensive end.
Garcia turns over Calixtro.
Yeah, it's just been very comfortable from OKC Energy this half. Just their abilities just to absorb pressure and then be able to play out.
And Williams is called for the foul. Taking down Calixtro. Portland will look to play fast. Anguiano does. Plays it to Wharton. Wharton central for Langsdorf. Langsdorf spins. Plays it out wide for Calixtro. Chance to cross. Prep touch. No one coming out. We'll look back post for Ojeda. Ojeda settles. Back central. Headed by Watson. Backwards towards the goal. And Lorendi collects.
Big chance there for T2. An ill-advised play out of the back from Williams. Almost cost them a goal. T2 playing very quickly there. As you can see there, Calixtro with all kinds of time, able to pick his head up and find Ojeda on the back post. Doesn't do well enough with that cross. Not sure who he's trying to find and pick out there. But certainly a good opportunity for T2 and a switch off, a tough moment there from OKC.
Amber Knowles was just in the sweater in the first half, has got the jacket on as things have cooled off here in downtown Portland on a Friday night. As Kiner brings it forward. A couple people come to defend him. Isley then takes down Kiner. It'll be a dangerous restart, chance to cross from just outside the 18, about 10 yards from the end line.
It's really good stuff from the 16-year-old, taking matters into his own hands, going after Isley here. Nice touch out wide, gets to the ball first, and Isley's forced to take him down. This is going to be a very dangerous opportunity for a T2.
Anguiano and Ojeda are the players that will stand over this one. Either be the right foot of Anguiano or the left foot of Ojeda, and it looks like it'll be Ojeda. Sierakowski and Calixtro. Now Langsdorf and Dispay all inside the 6-yard box. Big bodies forward for Portland. Ojeda will shoot, forces Lorendi into a save.
Smart play from Ojeda there. Just to go for goal. The angle's a little bit too tight. Just to chip it in there. Forces the save from Lorendi.
Ojeda crosses, doesn't get it past the first man, Isley. Now foot race between Gordon and Kiner. Gordon gets there first. Offside flag is up there on Deshaun Brown. And well done by Portland to hold that line. Gordon was too late with a pass.
And this is the shot from Ojeda. Just smashing it right at the goalkeeper. Randy does the right thing. Tipping it over the bar.
And a bad turnover for Portland. Here's Isley, has Brown in front of him. Also has Watson making a run on the back post. Watson has it, will shoot, saved by Ivicic. You can see Oklahoma City has held that high line in the second half. We're called offside, I think, twice in the first half, 7 times so far here in the second half. They'll take that if one of those is onside and they get a man in on Ivicic.
That's exactly the point, is just to try to test that back line. They're going to make 10, 20 runs in behind. Only one of them needs to be onside for them to score that goal. And you can see exactly what Steve Cook has in mind with the changes he made at halftime.
All right, third and final substitution coming for Oklahoma City. It will be Jonathan Brown coming on in place of Javon Watson. A name familiar to many, Javon Watson, the former Houston, Dallas, and New England player in MLS. 70 caps with the Jamaican national team, will be taken off in favor of Jonathan Brown in his 3rd season with Oklahoma City. Made 37 appearances with them in 2018, a goal and 4 assists. While it's not Brown or Gordon, I'm sure that Cameron Knowles and his side happy to see Javon Watson coming off the field, because he certainly made more of his presence felt there through the 32 minutes we played in the second half.
Yeah, we'll see Jonathan Brown just switch out to that right side as a winger. But a good shift overall from Javon Watson. He used that big body in the midfield, clogged things up, made those passes he needed to make. Now Steve Cook thinking the points are there for us, just have to really ride out these final 13 minutes or so.
And Oklahoma City will begin to sink deeper and deeper as we enter the final 10 minutes and look to play off the counterattack with the pace of Gordon and Brown. Deshaun Brown, that is.
And that ball right there from Ornstill. Got to see more of that, switching the point of attack. If T2 really wants to unbalance this OKC Energy defense.
Here's Calixtro. So many bodies in there for Oklahoma City. Laid out to Wharton. Wharton will shoot, and saved by Lorendi once again. Calixtro controls down by the end line, keeps it in play to Kiner. Kiner goes around Isley, no foul called, and now we will see the foul called on Isley. Still no cautions issued in this game. It looked like he caught Kiner. We'll take another look.
Yeah, it's a really good interchanging and interplay here to find Todd Wharton, who does a good job on the strike. In the end, though, it's fairly routine from Lorendi, who gets down to his left-hand side. It's really actually a really good save from him. I take that back. And then Isley again trying to defend against Kiner, just not doing a good enough job and taking down the defender just outside the box.
Anguiano and Ojeda stand over this one. Very similar to position to a few minutes ago. A play short to Ojeda. Ojeda will shoot off the back of Gordon and out for a corner kick, the 5th of the night for T2.
Right shoulder. Omar, see him there. Thank you, boys.
Here's Ojeda's cross. Nearly flicked on by Calixtro, just over his head, falls to Calixtro in the end. Now back to Ojeda. Fakes the first time cross, will go in second time, rolls all the way back post for Langsdorff. Mishits it up in the air, off the chest of Sierakowski. Wharton heads, and Lorendi catches. 81st minute, let's take another look.
Possible shouts for a handball here. As the ball just gets flicked. Looks like it may have hit Deshaun Brown in the arm. I don't think the arm is in an unnatural position, though. It would have been harsh to call that with the distance of that flick and the situation it was in. But some really good stuff from T2 on the set pieces, being more and more dangerous as this game is going on.
We'll see the first substitution of the night for Portland coming at the next dead ball, which is right now due to the Sierakowski foul on Isley. And it will be Portland, as you would imagine, playing at home, going for the full 3 points. Zach Kobayashi, the midfielder winger, comes on, and the center back Max Ornstill comes off. We'll see what Portland does. Looks like Todd Wharton might move back to one of those 2 center back positions. Might keep 4 at the back, and it looks like, at least right now, with Oklahoma City in possession, that is indeed what Cameron Knowles will do.
Definitely an aggressive move from Cam Knowles. Bringing off Max Ornstill and then bringing on Kobayashi. Wharton coming into the back line, and then Ojeda looks like he'll come in centrally while Kobayashi will move out to that left wing. Now an extra attacker on the field for a T2, and we'll see if that gives them the creativity to create some more of these chances that they desperately need.
Portland being outshot in this match 14-11. Langsdorff called for the foul there. Not happy with the call. Langsdorff has been kept relatively quiet, especially in the second half. As every dead ball, Oklahoma City will be happy to take as much time as possible on the restart. I mean, it really is amazing when you look out on the field for this Oklahoma City team. They have 4 guys on the field right now who played significant time in MLS, and one who was subbed off just a few moments ago, and Javon Watson, who has over 180 appearances in MLS, as Ivacic makes the catch.
Looks like Williams is struggling after that cross. Not sure if he's going to be able to continue. Looks like he's up and running.
Here's Calixtro quickly down to the other end. Central for Ojeda. Ojeda out wide to Smith. Smith has time and space. He's known for some heroics. Back to Ojeda, prep touch, another one will shoot, takes the deflection off of Ross, and out for a corner kick.
2-2 continuing to look dangerous here as they're trying to find this next goal. Really finding some areas at the top of the box. There's some soft spots from this OKC Energy defense. Now it's another set-piece opportunity for him.
Tough to tell there, but it certainly looked like with Ojeda curling that one with his left foot, it would have been on frame had it not gotten blocked. They'll send this ball in, trying to find the head of Dizpay, who was called for the foul. Fouling Ibeagha. And again, Lorendi will pick up this ball, move it about 6 feet, take his time.
It's a good cross into the box from Ojeda. Didn't really see the foul there, but guessing it was an arm. OKC Energy thanking the referee for making the call.
Oklahoma City in the second half, just the first to a lot of those 50-50 balls, this time won by Nathan Smith. Here comes Gordon into the box. He's around the defender, will shoot, and blocked by Todd Wharton. Good recovery by Wharton.
There's just a great recovery from Todd Wharton. Gets beat initially here as he overplays Gordon. Doesn't foul him though. Just busts his hump to get back there to defend the challenge. That could have been game over had Gordon been able to get that opportunity, that shot on goal.
Come on, guys, come on, hey.
All in from Garcia. Header won by Kobayashi. Back to Garcia, who chips it in towards the box. Sierakowski heads on, miss-hit clearance. It's Harris, central, Ibeagha through the legs of Isley. Crossed through for Ibeagha, who has added a fourth for Oklahoma City, and that might just about do it for the visitors.
Just a great job to keep this play going from Garcia there. T2 just can't do enough to clear this ball. You wonder if there's any shouts for offsides there on that far side, but it's a great ball across the face of goal. And just an easy finish there from Ibeagha. Right there, you see he's just onside as the number 88. Kiner, I believe, keeps him onside. It's a good goal. Now OKC in the driver's seat, up 2 goals. Only a few minutes left to play in this game.
Ojeda will float it in. Falls to Kiner at the back post. First time to Sierakowski, can't control it. Randy eventually clears. Well, it's been an impressive second half performance from Oklahoma City. 3 goals after trailing 2-1 at the break. One of the even more interesting stats as Portland earns a corner kick is that each team, despite each team having 4 wins in the previous 8 matches in this series, both teams coming into tonight were 3-1 on the opponent's home field. So Oklahoma City primed to make it 4-1 unless Portland can scrape 2 goals in the final 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Ojeda's cross floated towards the penalty spot. Falls to Sierakowski. Now Kiner, a floated ball in and an easy catch from Lorendi.
We'll get another look at this potential offside here on this play. It looks to me like Kiner, though, is keeping both players onside as Isley's coming back for that ball. I think that's a good goal. I think it should stand. Can't really get the best of angles there, but it looks to me like he's onside.
Because Isley's dummying that on, even though he doesn't touch the ball, since he's involved in the play, he could potentially be called for offside too, correct?
Correct, yeah. I think Isley could definitely be called for offside.
As Brown, Jonathan Brown this time, nearly sent in by Garcia.
But it's a good no call from the officials. I think they get that one right. But yeah, he would have been an active participant in that play and would have been deemed offsides had the back line been up a couple yards further.
And that's what we're talking about. If you're Steve Cook, you'll take being offside 10 times in a match if it creates 1 goal. And it did here tonight.
Man, just to see the way they've come out, this OKC Energy OKC Energy team, sorry, in this half, the aggression, the opportunism, the set pieces have just been better in every facet, and really just showing how much they want to win this game. They've really limited T2's opportunities on goal with their low block, and really to just some set piece opportunities in the second half. Not too many clear opportunities for T2 with the way that OKC Energy have defended.
Gordon called for the foul. As we enter stoppage time, we'll wait the signal from the 4th official of how much time we will play. It'll be 3 minutes. 3 minutes of stoppage time as Sierakowski shoots. And Lorendi was troubled by it. Looks like it went off the top of the crossbar. It's deemed to be just a goal kick.
Now, this is a big chance from T2 here, as the ball just comes across the top of the box to the right foot of Sierakowski. I think it just grazes the crossbar there. He just can't get that ball on goal. I think that Lorendi had it covered at the end. But T2 showing they still have a little bit of fight left in them.
Ball over the top. This one will run too far. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. An impressive, what appears to be a win for Oklahoma City here tonight at Providence Park. And for the first time in 44 matches in club history, as we will see our first yellow card issued tonight, to Christian Ojeda.
Ojeda just getting fouled there by Garcia. Pushes off Garcia.
It's a good acting job by Garcia.
Garcia does a pretty good job of going down there. But at the same time, you can't can't push off like that if you're Christian Ojeda, just showing a little bit of frustration towards the end of this game.
Well, and that's the thing, is in the end, all this is 35, 40 more seconds off the clock.
And it's smart from OKC Energy. They know what they're doing. They're a veteran team. Again, just strange to see how well they've done in this second half versus the first half. And talking to Steve Cook before the game about that, how it's been a strange season in terms of them not being able to really find that rhythm of good performances, because it's been individual errors that have cost them points and just poor performances here and there amongst the good performances. And so you'd wonder if they get this result here, how crucial this is going to be. Is this going to be a jumping off point for their season, in this final third of the season?
And finishing off my number that I didn't get through, as Ojeda got the yellow card. For the first time in 44 matches in club history for Oklahoma City, they will have trailed at the break and come back to win a match. They were 0-32-11 coming in tonight. Trailed 2-1 at the break, 3 unanswered in the second half for the visitors. And against a T2 team that seemed to have found momentum with the 4-4-2 system. A few moments in this second half, though, was the difference, as they gave up 4 goals. And Oklahoma City finishes it off as the final whistle blows. And Oklahoma City moves to 33 points, jumps over Portland Timbers 2, now 8-8-9 on the season. Meanwhile, Portland Timbers 2 fall to 8-8-8 on 32 points after leading at the break. Now this will be a tough one for Cameron Knowles and company to stomach.
Yeah, you'd have to say, though, that OKC came out in the second half and were the better team.
That's starting the 4th minute. It was Portland that, for the second straight match, got a goal in the first 5 minutes, this time coming from Gio Calixtro.
2 quick one-touch passes there, get the ball into the box, and unselfishly, Foster Langsdorff drops that over to the foot of Gio Calixtro, who just bangs that into the goal. Nothing Lorendi can do on the deflection, and it's 1-0 to T2.
16 minutes later, Oklahoma City grew into the match, and they would find an equalizer.
Yeah, that's a good job in transition. Ross is able to find this good early ball behind that back line. Some switching off from the center backs there, and Isley there. It's just deadly all night. Does a fantastic job with the finish.
So Oklahoma City showed they were up for the challenge. Then in the 28th minute, Ryan Sierkowski would score his 5th of the season and 2nd in consecutive matches.
T2 did a good job in this first half of finding those wide areas. It's a good ball in from Caleb Kiner. The ball eventually falls to the foot of Sierkowski, who gets his 2nd goal in as many games. And T2 are in the driver's seat, 2-1.
2-1 at the half. Deshaun Brown, Omar Gordon come on in the second half, 53rd minute, make an instant impact.
Completely different game, and then putting pressure on this back line and set pieces. What a great finish there from Williams, who celebrates. He knows how big that goal is for his team.
And just 3 minutes later, it would be Omar Gordon who would help set up this one.
And what a great first-time ball there from Deshaun Brown, and Gordon just finding that near-post run from Isley. It's a wonderful finish as the ball just bounces right up to him as he's making the run. Nothing that the goalkeeper can do. Ivicic, and they are up 3-2 now, OKC.
And then it would be the sealing goal for the visitors as Ibiaga gets on the end of this one, his first of the season.
Yeah, and they were just so good on set pieces in this second half, OKC Energy. Some shouts for offside, but we saw the angle. We didn't think it was offside. And a good finish there from OKC, putting them up 2 goals, and that's where it stands.
Portland will go out on the road for 3 of their next 4, and we'll be back in this building September 8th against Orange County SC, a 2 p.m. kickoff right back here at Providence Park. Well, that'll do it for us tonight from downtown Portland. Or Oklahoma City Energy, I should say, comes in, gets the victory 4-2 over Portland Timbers 2 for our entire behind-the-scenes crew who do a great job each and every match. And my partner, Nab Orchers, I'm Fletcher Johnson. We will talk to you on September 8th back here at Providence Park for more Portland Timbers 2 soccer. Until then, enjoy the remainder of August. And we'll talk to you next time here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.